Right then, this video is a continuation of my random lift tour here, and it's lift tour time! Once again, it is midnight and there's no one else about. And first we go to the set of 4 lifts right in the middle. These lifts are generic lifts and were built in the early 2000s, but despite being generic, they do actually have some character. And also, these lifts are very unreliable. Only 2 of the 4 lifts were working. And now, let's take a look at the Dewhurst key switches in these lifts. And I found out that Dewhurst key switches are actually not that secure. Right, let's take a look. This key here is not a Dewhurst key. It shouldn't turn the switch. It might as well be any object really. And let's take a look. Light, and nope, I can't turn the switch. Fan, nope. EBS, whatever that is. Can I turn this one? Nope. But what about this key switch? Car preference. Every time they put goods in these lifts, they turn this to stop the lift stopping at other floors. This means that this key switch is worn out and I can turn it. Right then, let's take a ride in this lift on car preference and let's listen to how worn out this lift is. It sounds pretty bad. And now along to the staff only lift. Let me in! Let me in! It doesn't let me in unless I have a swipe card. But that's not a problem. Let's put it into fire service mode. Right then, in fire service mode, you have to hold in the button till the doors have closed. And when it gets to the floor, you have to hold door open for the doors to open. But if you were to see smoke and let go of the door open, the doors will immediately close. And also, when the lift gets to a floor, you don't have to open the door, so you can send it off again. Meaning I can ride the lift up and down continuously without anyone else getting in the lift. And now, going back down to lower ground and turning the lift off of fire service. And now, let's take a look at the buttons in this lift. It goes to lower ground, ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the plant room key. And once again, this Dewhurst key switch is worn out and any object can turn it. Let's go to the plant room. And now, along we go to the staff-only lift behind the restaurant. This lift used to be an old Otis lift which was modernised in the 90s. This lift has now been replaced, and what is really stupid about this lift is the generic lift company that replaced this lift got the floor numbering wrong. In this part of the building, this is a really old part which dates back to the 1910s. In this part, the floor numbering goes basement, ground, 1, entresol, or other words, mezzanine, 2, 3 and 4. But only in this point, because the floors in the front part of the building don't match the floors of the corridors, because in the corridors it goes basement, ground, 1, 2 and 3. And the floors are slightly off, so floor 3 in the corridors is sort of like halfway between floor 3 and floor 4 in the other part. In the front part of the building, it's a bit odd. But the generic lift company that modernised these lifts got confused, because the restaurant right next to this lift used to have a high ceiling. But the hospital thought this was a waste of space. Let's add an extra cafe in this space above the restaurant. And they called the cafe the Mezz, like mezzanine. Even though this is not the mezzanine. This is the first floor. But this completely confused the generic lift company, who could not get their heads around this. And they've got floor 1 and mezzanine the wrong way round. So the floor number in this lift is basement, ground, mezzanine 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we go along to this rather weird lift up to the children's clinic. This lift used to be an old Otis that was modernised. Went from a little exit level on the side of the building, ground, 1, didn't stop at mezzanine, and on mezzanine it had this weird sort of swing door to access the lift shaft. It was quite odd. Then 2, then 3, and the lift shaft did not go all the way up to 4. It was modernised in the 2000s, shaft was extended up to floor 4, and the lift then also stopped at mezzanine. And this lift was a really crap generic lift by Doppler. And this lift had many problems with it. One really weird thing is the floor numbering inside the lift was actually correct, but the floor numbering on the indicator outside the lift got it wrong, and on the mezzanine it counted it as floor 2, and from that point upwards the outside indicator showed a different number to the inside indicator. Really stupid. And this lift was so crap it only lasted a couple of years, and it was since been modernised by Lift Tech. And now we go along to this staircase, and some of you didn't notice this staircase. This is another staircase in this part of the building. Notice the railings at the front of the staircase compared to the railings on the rest of the staircase. There used to be a lift here and they took it away. Never really noticed this before. And now we go along to a really nice, rare 90s French Thyssen lift. This lift is really nice. Let's take a ride in it.
Doors closing. Doors opening. 4th floor. Returning to fire service floor. Doors closing. First floor, second floor. Fifth floor. Doors opening. Doors opening. Doors closing. Doors closing. Ninth floor. Doors opening. Doors closing.